Galaxian for the Atari 400-800. This is actually a great version of the original arcade classic that came out, I think it was from Namco in 1979 or somewhere around there. I mean, I can actually remember playing this in the arcades, probably when I was 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, somewhere around there. So that'd be 1980, 81, somewhere around there. This version came out in 1982. I remember playing this now at my brother-in-law's place. He had an Atari 600 XL, and I'm going to be playing it on an Atari 600 XL now. The original hardware, just hooked it up to the screen and into my capture device, original joysticks and everything, the way I like to do it. And I remember having a lot of fond memories with this game. It's actually a really good version of the original Galaxian. And I think the main reason is that it plays so smoothly and, the sound is great. All the elements, or from what I can remember, all the elements are there, but the main thing is the gameplay for this version of Galaxian. And at that time, I had a Spectrum 48K. And, I was playing something like Arcadia or some of the Space Invaders. Well, I think there were Space Invaders and some of the other games. And they just didn't compare, unfortunately, to Galaxian. I was very jealous of the fact that the Ataris had this, but I mean, it was out of my price range. These came on carts. The Atari 600 at that stage was more expensive than the Spectrum 48K, actually, although it had a proper keyboard and all those other wonderful things, but it only had 16K of memory. And that still confused the hell out of me back then when I was a youngster. 16K of memory, yet it could play better games. And I had a 48K Spectrum, and I was playing Arcadia, which doesn't compare to this. So yeah, let's give it a whirl and play a little bit of Galaxian on this Sunday. And so it's Shoot 'em Up Sunday, 8-bit style. And let's give it a start there. And once again, I mean, with Galaxian, it's just a frantic shooter. One of the things I liked is that when I fire a bullet, you can see it goes up through to the top. It automatically gets another bullet ready on your ship at the bottom there. But you can't fire multiple times. I mean, that only sort of came later when you started having these bullet storm type games. So you had to be a little bit conservative and try and aim and not just randomly shoot all over the place. Otherwise, you'll just never hit these things. And on the scoring side, try to shoot them when they're flying, especially the escorts, which you'll see the main ship at the top there. He'll come down there. You see there, coming down. Got him. See, you get a bonus if you shoot them with the escorts. But I mean, just look at how smooth that scrolling is. Yes, the colors are not wonderful, but the colors are fine. So of the 8-bits back in my day, I think this was the better version. I've never played the Commodore 64 one. I've only played the versions on the Spectrum. I never had it on the... Oops, that was close. I never had it on my Spectra Video because I think it came out only on the MSXs. And I'm sure the MSX version was very good. But this was a big step up from Space Invaders. I mean, Space Invaders was sort of very set with your gameplay style. This was just so much faster, more frantic. And obviously the follow-up to this from Galaxian, Galaga, which added the element of your ships being captured. I love that. It was always a toss-up. Do you let your ship get captured or not? Darn. Got 3 ships. And also with Galaga, with the advent of your stages in between, your bonus stages, I mean, this didn't really... Oh, come on. There we are. Okay, on to the next. I mean, those sprites are super smooth and quick. I mean, it's flying. No color clashes. And actually quite a tough game as well. I mean, I remember playing this as a youngster and getting nowhere. If you saw there, on top of my ship I actually had my bullet ready, and you can actually shoot or destroy ships by just flying carefully underneath them, and they sort of blow themselves up on you. There we are. Oh, this is getting frantic. And the good old Atari 2600 joystick is doing the business here. It's one of those joysticks that used to really hurt my hand after a couple of hours of play. Now I think I managed 10 minutes and then my hand is killing me. But this is what 8-bit gaming is all about. I'm not even sure if I've done a video on Galaga before for the Atari. I just saw it on my shelf here and I thought, you know what? I feel like playing Galaga. And I know as a youngster, I would have played this for hours. And we would have had competitions, me and my brother, see who got high scores, which is all part of the fun. And obviously one of the big draw cards, yeah, this is getting frantic now. One of the big draw cards was being on card-based instant gameplay. Love that about the Ataris. Just wish the Spectrum had, there we go. I just wish that the Spectrum had actually pushed that a little bit further. And, no. I didn't realize I had another life. Okay, yeah, so a great game, Galaxian. Came out in 1982 for the Atari 400, 800 and XL machines. I'm playing it here on the 600 XL. And if you look at the cover art and so forth, and especially looking at the, oh, come on, there, got him. At the actual manual itself, I mean, they really got you pumped up to play the game. The artwork, the gameplay, the storyline. I mean, that was all part of it. Let me just pause it over here. Yes, it does have a pause feature for the game. And I'm just reading here from the manual. Last chance for planet Earth. When you joined the intergalactic warrior fleet, you never bargained for this. Your Earthship is soaring over the vast blue horizon. Suddenly an entire fleet of Galaxian comes, winging in from the deep space. There's no time to get other ships in the air. You're the only one who can stop the Galaxians. I mean, if that doesn't get you pumped up as a 10-year-old or 11-year-old. But behind the first wave is another, and then another, each faster and more powerful than the last. But I mean, this is what 8-bit gaming is all about. This is a classic game on my Atari 600 XL. Fantastic. If you're looking for some real 8-bit nostalgia, shoot 'em up, especially on a Sunday where the weather is absolutely miserable outside. Can't get much better than this. Okay, guys, cheers from me, and remember, keep it retro.